Okay, recording. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. This is Crypto Phil, and today we have for AMA Scott, the investor. It's a very popular guy, YouTuber, amazing guy. I did already 2 AMAs in his channel, and today we decided to do in my channel. And this video going to pop up. This is recorded on Telegram, and we're going to be posted on YouTube probably tonight in a few hours after we're doing this AMA. Now, we're going to ask a few questions here, our guest. And also, actually, I invite him to give me more information about his project, what they developing, what is looking very serious. And we never spoke about that a little bit more in details in the last AMAs. We always spoke about my charity. Well, thank you so much. You helped me a lot with that. And also we talk about all the project and all that stuff. So I would just ask Scott to introduce himself, who you are, how long you've been in crypto. I know you're a bodybuilder. I saw some of your shorts. You're pumping Iron Man. What I highly respect that, and I find coincidence that so many people are in crypto and also related to the gym, habits. What's good? I just hit my gym today, like 6:30. I was so excited. I did some boxing. All right, so welcome again to everybody. Feel free to raise your hand. Actually, just ask. You're all unmuted. Jump in, ask Scott wherever you want. Ask me, and feel free to share something about you, and then you can go about your project.
Sure. Thanks for the intro. And yeah, definitely. Before I guess I kick off the intro about me, Phil has a great charity that he helps people in multiple countries, mostly the kids in India or Ethiopia. So I'm sure that in the description of probably my last 6 or 7 videos, I've got the link to donate any BUSD or USDC or any BEP20 tokens or whatever. But make sure that if you got a few extra bucks, you throw it in there, because you guys have seen, obviously, if we're on his channel doing the AMA, you guys have seen the impact that he's made on the kids all around. So don't forget that. And as a group, the FOODTOPIAN group will be making a donation a little bit later today as well. But just wanted to call that out before we get started, because I think the kids are the most important thing, and DeFi second. But I'm Scott the investor. I got into crypto, I think late 2016. I was buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I started buying Litecoin. I made pretty good money right before the crash of, early 2018. And then I just kind of was doing a lot of different buy and hold stuff and getting into it. 2.5 years ago, something like that, I got into more of the DeFi space, ROI dApps, all that type of stuff, just kind of self-educating on that. And then once I started recording my journey a little bit, just to really make my life easier, because I was trying to explain it to people one by one, and just takes a lot of time to explain different ROI dApps or what DeFi is all about. So started making some content, channel did really well, and then just kind of gone from there. So the project we're going to talk about today is a product of the relationships you can forge in DeFi, and a couple of partners and I decided we would spin this project up. But before I go into a deep dive about the actual project, I'll let Unmade Sugar introduce himself as well.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, cool. Yeah, so I'm Keith, Unmade Sugar DeFi. So I've only been in the crypto space about just halfway through the last bull run, but I was very heavily into stocks and shares, and I traded a lot in there since about 2015. Was making okay money, but not like amazing money. And then a friend of mine introduced me to Bitcoin just as it was rallying in the bull run. So I moved some money out of stocks, moved some money into Bitcoin, started making quite a lot of money. So I moved all my money out of stocks, moved it into Bitcoin. Then was enjoying making money in Bitcoin, but was missing a bit of fun. So then I found the world of DeFi, started getting into like mining apps and stuff like that. And that's pretty much where I've got to now. I'm by day, I'm a UI designer and an app designer, pretty much. But I also dabble in smart contracts and create my own smart contracts and my own UI, which is what I do in FOODTOPIAN.
That's amazing. So you sold all your stocks to get into Bitcoin?
Yeah, I sold everything. I sold completely. I was making okay money in stocks, and I seen Bitcoin rally, and I was like, I moved a little bit over, and then that little bit I moved over made me more in a week than I was making in a month in stocks. So I just moved it all over. Made a good amount of money in the last bull run. pulled out my initial stock investment that I put in, and pretty much now everything that I'm using is pretty much like house money because I pulled out my initial that I put in. So it's all good.
Wow. So you played very smart, not like rest of us waiting for the Bitcoin to hit 1 million. And just yeah. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Where are you from, by the way? You have accent from yours from Australia or English?
I'm English, but I'm full of cold at the moment. Yeah, I'm from the middle of England in the Midlands, but I'm full of flu at the moment, so I'm a bit bunged up. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
So you're from Yorkshire somewhere?
Kind of, yeah, a bit further down. Yeah, more. I'm originally from just further down, a bit further down, so towards Manchester, Chester way.
Oh shit! I live in Liverpool, so that's great.
Oh, yeah, you're about an hour and a half from me, so yeah.
Yeah, well done, well done. We can meet for coffee sometimes.
Definitely.
Good. Scott, go ahead, buddy.
Just a second ago, I saw our third partner pop in and then pop back out. So I was going to give him a chance to introduce himself, but since he's probably quietly waiting for me to do it first. But the other one of our partners is Lee. Most people know him as Driptopian. He's got a great drip channel and another like Cryptopian channel where he talks about other projects. But he is our boots on the ground for this. He's really the largest foodie in the group, if you will. So he's working on the recipes and all that type of stuff. In a second here, I'll talk to you about how related our project is to food. But he's the guy, the brains behind the operation as it comes to the food, getting all the inspections done, getting the food trucks ready, doing a lot of work there on the ground, working out all the specific details of the cost of food and, some of the plans of how we're going to lay out our routes, all that type of stuff. So he'll be on here in a second, and he's another English guy. So, you know what I mean? You guys will have to bear with us on that, but he'll pop in a minute and we can add him to the list of people to chat about. So why don't I just describe our project in a nutshell? It's not overly complicated. It's blending DeFi and food together. Our website is dap.foodtopian.com. And
can you share, please?
Yeah, Un may be able to share his screen. Are you able to share your screen, Unmade? If not, I probably can.
You can feel free to share because I'm also recording with the screen, so I don't want to mess up.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, let's definitely try to share the screen. Let me see if I can share it. I don't know if Unmade's share screen.
We got 22 people. I expect to have like 5 only. It's like because it's 4 o'clock here. So well done and welcome everybody. By the way, we're doing AMA with Scott, the investor, and his team. We're going to chat today a little bit for his project because I'm very interested and I have few people asking me what is my thought about that. I say I don't have clue. I just need to speak with Scott, but let's do an AMA. So that's the best thing. So here we are.
Perfect. And I just shared my screen. Are you guys able to see it?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So this is our DAP website, and in a nutshell, what we decided to do was try to blend DeFi and real world businesses together. Right? We've got a passion for food. Everyone loves a good food truck. We try to figure out exactly how to orchestrate this, and what we decided to do was actually do a capital raise with DeFi, do a seed round of funding to raise money to make sure we get the first couple trucks and get ourselves in a position that we could operate the business. And then we've had a few different tiers of investment so far, just in the early stages. In order to raise capital, we originally sold these NFTs down here that you can see. They were tiered up. This one was just 0.1 BNB. So we had some entry level NFTs for people who didn't have a ton of money but wanted to get in, and they get 1% weekly. So they can stake the NFT and then they're able to pull their BNB out over time. So obviously 1% weekly isn't the degen rates we get, today, 1%, 2%, 3% daily. But that wasn't the point with this project. We weren't trying to make a degen project. We're trying to make a project that can sustain itself, and sustain itself fully based on the capital that we're making in the real world. So, basically you're able to buy the NFTs and stake them and sit there and earn BNB. That was really the first round. We're starting to close these out as they're selling out. I think, Keith, you're going to have to let me know when the burgers are going to go out. And this is a 1 BNB investment. This one's a 5 BNB investment, but the burgers are going to sell out first.
The burgers, there are 20. We were going to sell them out at the end of this week, but we've actually capped it to there's 25 left. So once they're gone, they'll go off sale. So the way, hopefully not too long now, because obviously now the pizzas have sold out. They're the next big buy. Yeah, so I think there's about 20 left now. So we're going to let them all go, and then they'll be sold out and gone.
Perfect.
Wow, that's amazing. Definitely I will buy one. I'll mint one actually tonight.
Yeah, it's a very slick system, really easy. What you do is you mint it and approve it, stake it. It just sits in here and then earns your BNB rewards. For some reason, we're trying to fix this. It's not reporting back exactly what it's earning yet, but it is. If you click claim rewards, Rabby or MetaMask will tell you how much you're actually claiming, but we'll sort out that little display issue. But basically, that's the way we did our seed round. You can purchase an NFT and you stake it in here, and then you just come in here and claim your BNB. Now you're going to get 250% of whatever you put in, of the BNB you put in before the NFT runs out. So again, not degen rates, but that's much more solid than you're going to get in any type of standard investment in the regular space. So we also have a token, and I'll explain more in a second on exactly how that's related. It's partially involved in our plan to do like customer rewards. You go to a restaurant and you've got a punch card or something, you visit so many times and then you're able to get a free meal. We're utilizing a tokenized system to be able to give people rewards, and then that way they can use those rewards to either pay for a meal or transition them into something else. So it's just our first piece of trying to get people that are in the regular world aware of DeFi and, start giving them some rewards in DeFi and giving them the option to really start learning about it. So that more on that later, but that's how we're utilizing the token. We have already purchased, and sorry, I don't have the pictures right up front. We've already got a couple of trucks. So we've got what's called what are we calling that thing? The turbo van? Cryptopian's on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. My man, why don't you explain the trucks for us? Because you do it better than anyone.
Cool. So, hello everyone. My name's Lee, aka Driptopian. I'm in charge of operations and compliance in the UK. So basically, we've got what we just name it a turbo truck, purely because it's what is known in the UK as a jiffy truck, which is a insulated, double-sided, small van, like a little courier van that you'd see knocking around delivering parcels, but it's been fully converted by the company Jiffy to house an oven, a dry...
do you have any picture or so we can see how it looks?
I'll send it to Scott in 2 seconds.
Thanks.
I've just rebooted, so obviously I don't know what my PC was doing. So obviously, let me just do that first. Scott, you carry on, and then I'll send these pictures just so...
okay.
We've got a point of reference.
Sounds good. Yeah, the trucks are cool. We got a couple different trucks that we're working on now. We're actively searching to buy a couple more, just trying to find the right deal. Obviously, we want to spend the money in the correct manner, but we raised enough money to get a few trucks. Like Lee was saying, he's in charge of compliance, meaning he's got to deal with all the health inspector stuff, them coming out to check the electricity, checking, every box that obviously that's the worst part about starting up a business is all the additional regulations and compliance. But when you're dealing with food, it's pretty serious. So you do have to do that because people have these random allergies and certain things. Everything has to be stored right, labeled right, packaged right. So he's really in charge of that. So, in a nutshell, we do have some additional raises. I'll talk about both of these here in a second. But that's exactly how it works. For people to get involved, they can either buy an NFT or they can invest in one of these saucepans, and these are for two separate different investments. This one's for a mega truck. We'll talk about why that's needed because there's certain venues and you can't get access to certain events without one of these trucks that we're calling a mega truck. It's just nicer, and they do some specific things. So in order to get access to those areas, we're doing a raise specifically for that. These saucepans, these actually have profit sharing involved. So if that's something that you're interested in, you could invest in these, and you'd actually get a little bit of profit sharing from the food truck or the mega truck, I should say, or the restaurant we're doing in Spain. And we can talk also about why we're doing a restaurant in Spain. I know I don't know if it's out in the open, but one of our community members is going to be running this for us, and that person is wonderful, and they've got a good handle on it. Again, I don't want to say, I don't know for sure if all the details are out in the open of exactly who this is, and I don't want to talk about it quite yet until I've confirmed. But basically, we're doing an additional raise for that restaurant as well. So it'll be a multifaceted business. We've got a pretty good game plan that we've got dialed in of exactly who we want to service, where we want to service them. We've got relationships with the vendors that we want to work with. We've been planning out some of the routes. So overall, it's just we're taking crypto in as a capital raise. Our investors can stake their NFTs or purchase it as basically saucepan tokens, if you will. So you get a portion of the pool, and you can get paid out your weekly dividends, plus you'll get a little profit sharing in these two down here. But it's a very hands-off investment, just like a normal restaurant would be. If you were to invest in a restaurant up the street, they'd say, hey, we're looking for investors. We're trying to raise capital. If you gave them $100,000, you wouldn't have day-to-day, work to be done. You wouldn't be in there washing dishes. We wouldn't have to do anything. You're really just an outside investor. And then, the restaurant is generating profits and paying you your dividends. That's essentially how we've modeled this out. So we've got the food truck business handled. Obviously, Keith is the one that's doing all the contracts and, making sure the DAP is set up correctly and all the earnings are correct and all the back end tokenomics. That's him. Lee's boots on the ground as far as just everything compliance and all the non-fun stuff that comes with the compliance, but all the fun stuff that comes with the food. So the recipes, the cooking, making sure everything's dialed in, kept at the right temperature, orchestrating, running the crew for the trucks, and all that type of stuff. And I'm really more on the marketing and strategy angle. How can we market this? What type of platforms do we want to try to advertise on? How can we do these local initiatives? All that kind of stuff to make sure that we're maximizing what we've got, and then we can continue to grow the business. So we're hoping to add trucks on a regular basis. And then we've got one or two of these side projects that we're basically calling saucepans, and they're really specific initiatives that where we believe that there's a gap in the market and we can make some pretty good money. Plus, we think they would just be fun to do.
Okay, so that's a lot of information. That's amazing. Yep. Before we continue, let me ask you a couple of questions what I have in my head. So basically, this is like a real story. What I don't think anybody of us has been involved in such thing like this. I think it's a project there. I've been involved. It's called IX Global, and they have real commodity, oil, gas, and all that stuff. But here we're talking about we know we know each other, and we are so basically regarding your trucks, wherever they are in the UK, I can go and take a picture and do some video live right there. Buy the food and taste it. And give you my opinion, basically.
Definitely.
Don't forget, I work in a restaurant in America for 4 years, so I know everything. And I have my best buddy is nutrition guy, so he can give you so many health recipe. By the way, maybe you can include him over there. Have he's a master degree in all that nutrition guy for healthy foods and having private clients. Maybe I can hook you up because he was going to open something here in Liverpool. So maybe, I don't know, some collaboration. My question is, Scott, so this money, when the people stake, so can it go slightly down? There's a truck. Perfect.
There's a truck here. You go ahead. Let me hit your question first, and we'll get to the truck.
So NFT. So go down a little bit. So there we go. Yeah. So we have 1.4% a week. So I'm going to buy that today with one BNB. Okay. Just to make sure here, people to understand that BNB you don't get it back. Once you put there, it's like you're investing, and then you're getting up to 250% back with at around 1.4% a week. Is that like static 1.4% a week, or can they go up and down, or?
No, it is not variable. It is 1.4% per week, and you will receive 250% of the BNB. So it's that's it. Basically, once you buy that one BNB NFT and you stake it, you're going to get 1.4% of that weekly until you've reached 250% of whatever you put in. So our hope is, with time, obviously BNB, we're all kind of bullish on BNB. If BNB does well, then you would make, significantly more money having it staked over time than you would, just at today's prices. So we'll see exactly where that goes. But of course, the only thing variable is the BNB price, in dollar value. But as far as how much BNB you're going to get, you buy one BNB, you're going to get 2.5 back.
Fair point. So you get €1 plus 150% back. So we're talking about 1.4% a week, 6% a month. We talk about 72% a year. So we talk about good 2.5 years, you'll get payment back. Simple as that.
That's correct.
Yeah. So my next question is, once these NFT are sold, and if the people want to buy them, can they buy them on somewhere on OpenSea or something like that, or no?
No, we've decided really not to allow resales, just because it makes it difficult because of how much is left on it. It's going to be staked until you reach 250%. If you if you sell it on the open market, it's tougher to disclose how much percentage that has left, then that person would have to stake. So really, it's more ideal for us to just say, hey, if you purchase it and stake it, that's your, the thing about NFTs and purchasing them and reselling them is really that you're looking for them to increase in value because of the demand. The intrinsic value really just is the percentage that you're going to receive. Outside of that, unless our DApp is the most amazing DApp in the world and FOODTOPIAN is world renowned, and all of a sudden these NFTs become a collector's item, which is unlikely. That's the only real reason that that it would be beneficial to resell on a third-party market. So what we've decided to do is really just said, hey, if you purchase it, you stake it, and then there's really no avenue or vehicle for resale.
Okay. Can you scroll down a little bit so we can finish with the rewards?
Sure.
So the NFT will be sold out. I can see that very, very soon. Now let's go. I'm very interested when you say you can get share, not the token. So go down. So it was right here. Okay. So is there a minimum investment or none?
No minimum investment in these. That's what's kind of nice. If you, if you're a heavy hitter and you want to bring in 10 grand, you can do that. Or if you just have $5 a week and you can keep adding it in here and it just increases your share. Obviously, as you can see here, when we first started this up, I just did a quick $50 test transaction, added it in. So my share is 0.005. And so that's really all I have in here, but I'm going to continue adding. Obviously, we've been adding money to our business on the back end as well. But we really just got these set up and we haven't done a real big push for the saucepans quite yet. They're our newest initiative because we're wanting to make sure that we're up and running, serving food and in a good position, but we're basically right there now. Okay.
Just to confirm here, for these investments right here, opportunity, I can see it says you earn every week 1% plus 1.25% of the monthly profits. Is there also a cap when you earn up to 250% return and you finish, or you just earn forever?
There is a time scale. Lee, why don't you hit this one, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. So basically, if you invest up to $19,999, you receive 120 weeks at that rate, plus your profit share. If you invest over 20,000, you receive an ROI period of 150 weeks. So we decided that we wanted to give an extra boost to the people that really put 20 grand or more in. And that doesn't mean it's in one hit. You can DCA your way up to that to trigger the 150 weeks, or you can stay at the 120-week return. So when we were doing the math regarding the DeFi side, obviously the main part of our income is going to be coming from the in real life business. So we had to cap it at a certain rate that's sustainable, not only for the DeFi investors, but also for the business itself. So up to 19,999 is 120 weeks plus profit share. Over is 150 weeks plus your profit share.
Okay, that's fair point. So you get 1% for 120 weeks. That's 120%. So you get your money back plus 20% on the top of it. Plus, in the between time, you get the profit share, what can only increase with time.
Absolutely. And the reason that we sort of decided to offer what we've done with the profit share is because these particular assets in the saucepan, being Spain and Megatruck, they have specific use cases. So the profit, we're going to keep different management accounts on the real life business side for each of these assets. So it's easily distinguishable between, you know, the main business earning profit and these particular assets. And the way we've set the profit on the profit sharing on these is one of the main reasons is, like Scott touched on, is these are going to be specific use cases. Megatruck, we just call it that. It's basically a high-end, high profit generating vehicle that is allowed on some of these what do you call it, more unique events where you have to have a USP. You can't just trade there with hot dogs and hamburgers. You have to be different, and they'll inspect the truck even down to with torches under the cookers, like kind of like a health inspection. And then you'll get access to these events that we're planning. And the profit that we generate from these particular assets is usually a lot higher than when you're driving around towns and parking up and truck stops and stuff. So that's why we decided to separate the profit and offer it to the investors, because they are unique in the way that they generate the profit compared to, you know, the truck that Scott's about to show you.
Okay, that's explain a lot for the earnings, because most people will say, okay, how much I can earn. So that's why I want to bring this one on the beginning for the people to understand. Now, where I can see the trucks, and feel free now to go through the trucks picture and just to explain us whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the like you said, it's most important for investors that are kind of interested is how easy is it to get in, and then what am I really going to earn? So if you are watching this and you're like, hey, this looks pretty cool, I'm interested, let me sample with a 1BNB NFT, or let me come down here and I like the idea of the Megatruck. That's the one I want to get into. That's the team I want to be on, if you will. Or if you're really into, you know, the Spain saucepan and that restaurant, then all you need to do is come in here, and each you know, share, if you will, is 1 USDT. And so you can come in here and purchase and stake it, and then your earnings are all explained right here. And of course, Lee just explained them, but pretty easy to get in, pretty easy process. Again, on these NFTs, once you purchase them, it'll just have, if I've got a burger to stake, it'll have a 1 right here. I would approve it, and then I would stake it, and then it would put it down in my list here. So pretty easy process to get in. And then we're going to be able to show you lots of content of us serving the food and all that type of stuff. So it's really easy. There's a lot of, I don't know, there's some other projects out there that are trying to blend into real world stuff, but it just seems like it's harder for them to show their, you know, proof of work out there, because, you know, just whatever the business is more complicated. For us, we're going to be out there making content in the truck every day and, you know, serving new food and stuff. So it's really easy for us to be super transparent about exactly what's happening out there. So it's kind of nice. But here's the details of the trucks that we have, the trucks and trailers. Lee's the best. Lee's the expert at how these trucks work and what they do. So I'll let him kind of get into it.
Yeah, so basically that top one there is the smaller Jiffy truck that I was explaining about earlier. Long story short, it's an insulated van. Ours is slightly different. It's the same van, but different layout, because we've got the better refrigeration system and heating system. So on the left, as you look at the first picture, that is where the hot food is stored. And we're talking, you can do hot dogs, burgers, baked potatoes, and condiments such as baked beans and melted cheese, cheese whiz, chili, curry, all in the bottom. We've bought all the gastro pans to keep that at a safe serving temperature. and pastries and pies and things that people who are working in factories and office blocks tend to eat on the fly. Middle section is your dry storage. That's going to be cereals, breakfast, room temperature kind of stuff, chocolates and bags of crisps or chips, as people will say in the Americas. And then on the right-hand side, you're looking at the refrigerated area, which is where we'll be serving the cold yogurts, granola, sandwiches, baguettes, wraps, and dairy products such as milk and cheese, which is a topping for our baked potatoes in the oven side, and anything else that needs to be stored, pops and fizzy drinks and refreshments that need to be stored under 5 degrees to be safe to eat and stuff like that. So that particular unit there has the opportunity, or the ability, should I say, to serve anything up to £800 or $1,000 per day, which is what the previous operator was doing before he and she retired. And we're looking at building a fleet of 3 to 4 of these. So these are the workhorse. They go out at 7 a.m., usually come back between 2 and 3 p.m., which is where it segues into our, I'll talk about Megatruck, which is the second picture in a second. But we've also got a catering trailer, which preps the food for that particular little turbo truck, you see. And we're going to offer delivery services on Just Eat, Food Hub, Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and any other sort of delivery service partner that we're going to hook up with. And that serves a little niche, particularly in my area where we'll be serving, because during the hours of 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., there's not really much choice other than, £70 Domino's or a £50 Papa John's and traditional fish and chip shops. So we've done our market research, and there's plenty of calls for the school rush when mums and dads and granddads and nans come back from school with the little ones. It's that time, they're starving hungry, and we're going to open up our delivery service with, niche foods, potato waffles and chicken nuggets and beans and chips and stuff. And there's a lot of people who are looking forward to that. And we're going to run the delivery service up till 12 p.m., not just offering what you can get on every single takeaway. We're going to be doing some of the foods that we can't get here, in particular Mexican food we can't get. We've got some Thai places and some Indian places, but we like a bit of fusion as well. So we're going to go down sort of Asian route. And that ties in with Turbo Truck, because some of the food we cook on the trailer for delivery services can also be utilised on the little sandwich truck. So if there's any questions on that before I move on, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah. How many employers do you have? My question is, where is the van? Like, where I can see them, if that's possible. And my next question is, do you have like a logo on the truck to say FOODTOPIAN? FOODTOPIAN.
Yeah. So basically, we've got all of our wrap designed. The turbo truck is currently sitting at the Citroen dealership in storage until we can get our health inspection, which is any time. They could phone me tomorrow. All of our gas has been upgraded to be certified. The electric gets certified tomorrow. And the trailer is at a safe location, as it's not going to be open for the public at the moment, because it's got to service the little trucks. And we don't want to overextend before we've got ourselves settled in our rounds and got our logistics sorted with the smaller trucks. But the smaller truck will be Instagramming and TikToking and YouTubing all around Staffordshire and eventually the West Midlands in the UK. And then Megatruck is more likely to be the one that's going to be the permanently static truck at events and locations where we tweet out in the morning and say, this is where we are for the week, come and visit us and try our food and fare. And in terms of employees, there's obviously 3 of us. I've got a network of another 4 people when required. But for the first month, it's going to be me and 1 other, whilst we establish credibility and continuity in terms of the way that we want to serve the food. And then when I'm happy to hand that over, only when I'm happy, I will hand it over to people who we've got waiting in the wings to take over, because we have to get the quality sorted to our standards. And then only then, like McDonald's, when they first started, has to be consistent. And when we're consistent, then I'll allow people to come into the fold a little bit more.
Right. So, wow, this is serious shit, to be honest. Like,
Oh, it's serious.
well
Trust
done.
me,
I
yeah.
think this is needs, because I'm in property business here. I spoke with Scott a few times, and I did so much research. I think I went to courses and education, and people think, oh, you get a second house. I say, dude, to buy a second house, I sold something back home. I borrow money from here and there. You know, I was so schemed for months and months and months before. Like, I worked my ass off so I can pay everything back, you know, and even on, you know, with an extra percentage. And people think it's like overnight, but well done for all your research. I can see you know your shit. Basically, you know what
Thanks,
you're talking about. What it's I think that's what we need. So Midlands, probably I can step by. I think what we have here is in Liverpool, some big show, I guess. It's some park here. It's called Sefton Park. They have always big some avenues like music and all that stuff, like country music. Sometimes in the summer, you know, wherever you start crack on, probably you'll be here. So I'll come and see you. But everything what you see, I can see also your marketing is doing great. Like, you aiming like now we're going to have Instagram, Twitter, and all stuff. You know, I guess now you need to go into tweets. The new one will just pop up. Yeah, don't forget that. 100 million users already. That's crazy. Well done. I think I don't have any question. If anybody have any question, feel free to ask now before they continue.
Yeah, definitely feel free to ask any questions. I think it's important to say, because food businesses are tough. And so I think what really needs to happen in food businesses is you got to have some sort of a strategic edge. So, you know, what's ours? Basically, we have a very underserved population up there. Like Lee was saying, there's a gap in time where there's no other food available really, unless you want just like the standard couple options. And Keith will say the same. Up by him, I think he's got maybe 2 options during a very large block of the day, or you know, at certain times in the evening. So what that does is that just creates a constriction on the market, and you know, it's really a vacuum. We need to fill that space. So for us, you know, where we're actually serving the food is strategic. The reason we have the trucks that we do are strategic. And of course, we're going to add more of these. There's a lot of businesses in that area. I forget exactly how many, 5,000 businesses, small businesses or something like that in the area. Isn't that right, Lee?
Yeah, there's 5,000 to 7,000 small to medium businesses that can be served, but there's approximately anything between 60 and 100 industrial estates. But the good thing is we're not limited to just the borough or the area of Staffordshire. We can also tap into any county that neighbours us, or indeed goes further in. You know, I know Liverpool quite well. I'm a big football fan, so I travel away all the time with the football, and I see all these places and think, yep, I'll be there. Yep, I'll be there. But we basically, the borough, the way it works in the UK is the council or the governing body of my particular borough, town, city, I have to be registered with them. And I've already built the relationship with the environmental health team. They're very helpful. We've been in dialogue since April. They understand where we're at, and they're ready to come and assist me. And obviously we're aiming for the highest rating we can get. But also we can, for instance, Keith lives in Shrewsbury, which is a totally different place to where a different council. We can trade there. It just means that if they come to inspect us while we're on his patch, if you like, on his area, they will do an inspection and ask me for every bit of paperwork. But because I've been working so hard to get the compliance sorted and gone over and above with the plans, risk assessments, health and safety, which is always a good thing to do, it means that we are not restricted to one particular area. So when we do add a second truck, as soon as my home county's people come and say, yep, cool, you're good to go, that's going off to where Keith's from. And that's another 7,000 to 10,000 businesses, because it's a little bit more built up in certain areas around there. So we aren't restricted anywhere in England and Wales as it stands right now. But obviously, as long as we're to code, if the inspectors hop in and say, right, what temperature is that fridge? I've got the records. We do hourly temperature checks. Sometimes I do too many, but it's better to be more prepared than less prepared, especially when it comes to food, because as we know, there's been some incidents in the world where people haven't been given the correct packaging or labelling to allergens and stuff. but we're not going to be that person because I've spent that much time researching it, doing all the courses that I need to do. I've done, I'm level 3 in food and hygiene, which is, I needed 2, but I went for 3. And I'm doing extra add-on courses at my own cost just to ensure that if anyone ever asks me something, I've got the answer for it, because we're a limited UK business. We are registered with His Majesty's Revenue and Customs. We're not just hidden DeFi people. We're all fully doxed. We know each other's family, kids, addresses. It's all on on the internet. So it's a big deal for us to make sure that we do everything that we can for both DeFi and real world business, because the two matched together are quite powerful. Sorry for going on.
No, that's great to know. I think I do agree with you. DeFi and the real world can be combined together and can bring something huge and something incredible like what you're doing. Just to add something, don't forget, by the way, by in 25 minutes, I should finish. But yeah, please be aware of it. That's why we did the AMA earlier. Before I went to America, before I lived there for 4 years, I was back home. I was working as a waiter, as everybody worked, like the first job and everything. Do you know that I was there till I was 20 back in my country. I never, ever in 20 years, never heard that anyone is allergic to any type of food. That's crazy. And then when I went to America, I started working in the restaurants, and they warned me like so many times. We have all that like education, like people are so allergic, like you say, to so many different things. And then I come to UK. It's the same shit, I said, what the heck is wrong with these people? Like, how you can be allergic to nuts and all that stuff? And back home now, there's on and off. I can see some people allergic, like of the very, very rare. I don't know. Is it maybe more very bad food here eating, maybe fast food? Like back home, we all cooking, homemade from scratch. Here is like everything fast food. Everybody doing like you say, Uber and all that stuff. I can see my neighbors are English, and we always have the delivery guys like coming like 5 times a week to every house. Like, that's crazy, man. I said, what the heck? Like, are you ever cook?
I don't know what it is with allergens. I think it's more a case of some things in the past have gone missing, but obviously now they're super, super hot on, peanuts, nuts, sesame, mustard, celery, sulfites, milk, soya, eggs, fish, mollusks. I mean, that's just the ones I remember. But it's where we are, and part of my job is compliance. And, I understand, when I was born in the 80s, I didn't know anyone that was allergic to anything, but it probably wasn't as well reported because we didn't have any way of communicating with anyone other than the landline, the house phone. So, yeah, it's interesting, but, that's the code, so we'll stick to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of different theories of why that is: food, environment, some changes in a few other things. That the accelerated vaccine schedule for Western countries. There's a bunch of factors I think that could come to play there. But yeah, the fact of the matter is, for us, as far as a business, like, it's just the environment we're in, and if folks are allergic, we got to make sure that we're practicing extremely good food safety, but also making people aware of, what's in this or what's in that, just because you don't want to have any type of issue where a customer unknowingly, takes something they're allergic to or eats something they're allergic to. So Lee's been all over that. We've had several discussions just specifically about the food safety and the allergens and all that type of stuff, because there's a couple of horror stories over there of folks who didn't pay attention to that and people got hurt. So it's it's obviously the utmost of the utmost importance to us. But we think we're in a pretty good position. This business is not complicated. Like I said in the beginning, this isn't anything too crazy. If you could think of it from an outside perspective and didn't think it had anything to do with DeFi, if you knew some guys that knew their stuff and they said, hey, I'm starting a restaurant business, and you can invest in it if you want. It's going to cost you very little. You could do a minimum investment, or if you feel like you're in a better financial position, you want to do a larger investment, you've got that too. But it can be any dollar amount because, our saucepans allow you to invest either $1 or you can invest $100,000 if that's what you wanted to do. You've got the flexibility, and your profit share is going to be based on the amount that you put in. If someone were to come to you and say that, you'd be like, wow, that's great. It's good to have the option. Hey, do I want to put in $1,000? Do I have $5,000 available? You would just start thinking, okay, how would I invest? But those investments don't come to normal people. Those options aren't there. No one's coming to you and saying, hey, would you like to invest in my restaurant business? It's just not happening. Most of the time, you need to be an accredited investor. So you need to be making, 300,000+ a year for the last couple of years, or have $1 million or $2 million in total net worth. You've got to prove that. And then you get opportunities to get in cool new businesses, right? So it kind of blocks out the people that may not be as affluent or as plugged in or be making as much money as others. So this is kind of a cool restaurant business that you can invest in as an everyday man. It's really only available to a relatively small community because only so many people know about DeFi. We're just starting to bring people on and letting them know, because they're asking, Lee's friends, people I know, hey, how can I invest? Well, you can invest, but we're going to have to get you set up with a MetaMask and, get some money in the system and then show you how to do it. So it's a good crossover education, but ultimately we wanted to make it simple. Like, you can put dollars in, you can own a small share of the business, you can get profit sharing, you can actually visit the trucks, eat our food, watch our live stream content. We'll do a Friday live stream where we're serving fish and chips or, what have you. We'll come up with different topics and stuff like that we can do. We'll alter the menu as we decide to get a little more brave. Obviously, we don't want to go too far off the beaten path because people need to be eating what they're comfortable with, but we want to give a little spice to whatever it is. So, if it's the jacket potatoes, like he was saying, with the curry on top, we'll just do something a little bit different, so that people know that, they're not getting their McDonald's food, their average McDonald's food. The burger's going to be better. It's going to be tastier. It's going to be prepared with more love, all that type of stuff. So pretty simple concept, really easy to invest in, really easy to understand because it's just a restaurant business. Very simple. We're focusing mainly on these food trucks out the gate because that's where the biggest gap in the market is. And that's it. I mean, we, like Lee said, we're all docs. We've all been on camera plenty. We're registered. It's a registered business in the UK. I mean, we went about this all in a very traditional business way, the way you would have to do it, right? We've got a business bank account. We're all linked to it. The full gamut, exactly what you do if you were starting up a normal business. We just utilize the DeFi community to do the capital raise, and we love our communities, and so we're happy to give them a share of the profits of what we're going to earn out there. So felt like it was a pretty simple concept, and so far people are really gravitating toward it, and it's nice.
Amazing and well explained everything. To be honest, I think Lee also explained everything about the food. You explained everything about the NFT and how the people can invest, make money, and also, like you say, we can educate people to get how to get registered with how to get a MetaMask, how to purchase the first BNB and all the stuff, and that's absolutely amazing because you're going to help also to bring new people in the DeFi space, whoever is interesting, because once the people see the logo on the truck and they'll say, oh, what's this? Probably they will have the scan bar and when the people are going to scan, they say, wow, what's this? How I can get in? Wow, I can get a share, like you said. And there are real people say, wow, I really, if they see like 1, 2, 3, 5 trucks, 1, 2, 3 weeks, 5 weeks in a row, they say, fuck, I can get there. I can get a share just investing some money. And I'm just normal person, so that's amazing. I think probably you can put in the truck, do you want to share from this profit? Come here, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually part of the strategy. That is a big part of it. Sorry, Scott.
No, fine. You're good.
Yeah, we've got the obviously part of the wrap and part of the marketing material that's going to be visible, not just the menu, is obviously a scannable QR code that's going to send them to a private video on each of our channels or to the FOODTOPIAN channel in the main, which will show them how to onboard into crypto if they're interested. So basically scan it, send you straight to the video. It's a welcome video. It sends them the official links to MetaMask, how to do it, how to buy BNB, They've got a direct sort of line to each of us and our community in Telegram. So if they're struggling with a video, we can help them, and that we're going to be onboarding thousands of people. In my opinion, obviously, it's part of the mission because we are DeFi as well as in real life. We are going to do our best to onboard as many people into DeFi as we possibly can, because I'm pretty much sure that 99.5% of the people that we interact with on a daily basis haven't got a clue what DeFi even means. So part of our mission is to assist bringing that money back into crypto, not necessarily just for us, but for the betterment of everyone that's in crypto. And if we can do our tiniest little part by serving good food and onboarding people into crypto, then I think we've done a good job. So it's all set and ready to roll.
I do agree. Everything today is just perfectly said. I think I can see this one. Honestly, if you run like 5-6 of this vehicle, let's say in one town, and if I see this, because let's say I was going to work here, and I was every Tuesday when I was going to first when I come to the UK, I was working in the factory and for a few months, and every Tuesday when I was passing with the bus, I can see a butcher, also in the truck and selling fresh meat, and then after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then in 3 months' time, I say to my wife, really, I want to buy some good beef, and say, where? Oh, I say, wow, I just remember that truck there every Tuesday at 7 o'clock a.m. right there. Yeah. No, really. I went there and I bought the food right there. Simple as that. But, if they have maybe, more scan code and all this stuff, but what I didn't notice is any logo, so the logo needs to be like hit in your head, wow, I know that logo. Oh, wow, that's the guy with the food, something, just opinions. But yeah, that's it's a fair point, all of it. I think once you grow up, there will be so many people coming in just scanning the code, and you tell them you can buy with the tokens. You can get like 5-10% discount if you spend if you buy the food with the tokens and so on, I guess, in the future. And yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's all on the plan. We'll get wraps around the trucks. We hope to expand. So we've kind of took this first capital raise slow. We didn't really push it that hard because it takes a little while to set up the DApp, make sure, the website and everything looks good. It takes a while to get through the compliance. What we didn't want to do is take on $500,000, go on an AMA spree and take in $500,000, $800,000, and still be trying to work our way through some of all the legal red tape and everything that we're going through, right, with all the inspections. So we've really done this very slow. We're right at the point, like Lee said, we could get a call any day this week that says, hey, we're ready for that final health inspection. And then we're going to be serving food. So technically we could be, flipping burgers or making jack of potatoes or whatever out of the units that we have right now by the end of the week. So that's kind of where we're sitting. We're right at the point where we're ready to serve food. Obviously, the photos of that and the video of us actually serving is going to make investors feel really comfortable, and they're going to want to pile in. So that's really the position we're in right now. Right after we're ready to go, everything's fully launched and we're creating that content, we're probably going to do a good marketing push, because I think at that point it'll be time to raise a little bit more capital. We've got enough money. Obviously, we've got a bunch of B&B just stored away that's just paying out all the investors, paying out their dividends. So we're not concerned. We've got many months of runway before we're ever going to have any issues. And the profits from the business will more than pay for any of the capital payout. So we feel pretty good about that. But we're going to be ready to have a good push and get this mega truck and get the Spain saucepan done, so the Spain restaurant all sorted. And I think we're going to raise that capital fairly fast, but that'll just allow us to do specific initiatives. The mega truck, Keith is really plugged in out there with a lot of the venues. He used to do a lot of venue photography and videography around a lot of that stuff. So he knows a bunch of those owners, and you've got to have an inside person to be able to get access to, hey, I want to get my food truck in here. So we are going to be able to send the mega truck out to all those. So we've kind of got a strategy for each of these. And I know we don't have time today to deep dive into it, but just want to make sure investors feel comfortable. Like, hey, if I'm really feeling the Spain restaurant, or if I'm really feeling the mega truck, we've got specific reasons for that. We think they're both going to do really well. You're going to get your share in the profits, plus you'll get your staking and get your money back that way. So it's really just kind of a win-win. But this just allows us to accelerate our growth plan. where we could go out and probably get another truck or two right now and just have everything ready and waiting and ready. But like Lee said, we really want to nail it for the first few weeks, make sure we feel comfortable and the food quality is exactly where we want. Then we'll scale it and, really kind of blow this thing up. So the sky's the limit. We're just going to do it at the pace that makes the most sense for a normal business.
Amazing. Perfect. All right. So, pretty much we're at the end. Anybody want to ask any questions? I guess no. Fine, everybody.
Normally that's good.
I think we answered everything.
I think you give us so much information, for everything. So everything is explained. Also, if anybody watched this video in the YouTube probably later on or listening in the AMA after it's finished, feel free to go to the Telegram group. I will pin later on and ask in Scott Telegram group. You can ask all the questions you have related to this project, the FOODTOPIAN. Anything else you want to add, guys, at the end?
I'd say the website is dap.foodtopian.com, and I'll send that over to you so you can kind of post it in the video, because I'm sure people are going to want to jump in and play around with the site at least and just check it out. So we'll do that. We just want to thank you for providing the platform for us. I know we've been friends for a while, and so it's nice of you to let us come on, do an AMA, explain our project. Like I said, it's not overly complicated, real world business, easy to understand. We've just tied in the DeFi, and we've really just been appreciative of the support we receive from our communities.
Absolutely. Echoed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, listen, guys, thank you so much for coming. Scott probably going to nail one more AMA, in the near future. And again, thank you for everything, for everybody who attend today. Thank you for everybody who is listening later on. And thank you guys again, because you just explained everything what we need. And I really like this project. Probably I'll buy some NFT later on today or tomorrow when the kids are sleeping.
Much love, brother. Thank you very much, Phil.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks to everyone else.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.